State Road 252 near Trafalgar, popular for motorcycles, but no one saw the crash involving 40-year-old Raymond Lebo. Night after night, he was out here all alone in a ditch for 3 days, even through yesterday's storms, until finally...
Come on, let's go.
Pat Griswold took a walk with her dogs.
I really heard somebody say, help me. And so I'm thinking, okay, where are they? And then he raised his hand.
Pat called 911 and got the man some water. Her neighbor Chuck also came to help.
I took about 3 or 4 blankets out of my truck so that they could cover him up, get some warmth back in him.
But I'll never forget his face. It was like, of course, he had 2 black eyes, this leg that was all, and he was just crumpled up. And I thought, gee whiz, this is bad.
Down here near the crash scene, you can still see all kinds of debris, his visor, even part of the motorcycle. But for 3 days, no one saw him or the bike until Pat came along to help.
It is a miracle. It truly is.
Lebo had last been seen at a tavern down the road, the Crowbar Inn. No one even knew he'd crashed.
The motorcycle hit the guardrail and threw him off there, and the bike just kept going. For him to hang on that long, like you said, through the storms that we had coming through here was just amazing.
You're kind of a hero.
Hey, I don't feel like one, but lots of people have said that.
She was his angel yesterday. She really was.
So he's like your baby.
He is. He's my son. I mean, didn't give birth, but yes. I love him just like I love any of my children.
While we were there, the 7-year-old primate ate a popsicle right from owner Bobby Phelan's hand. But just hours earlier, Yujo caused chaos.
What's going on there? We have a monkey and he has gone out of his cage. My brother's hurt and so is our dog.
Yujo tore the family dog's ear and scratched the owner's 15-year-old son. All those inside either ran out of the house or locked themselves inside various rooms while the monkey ran amok. Phelan was able to get him back in his cage before sheriff's deputies and animal control arrived. Her 19-year-old son admits several friends sleeping over weren't as calm as the family.
One of the friends wake up, the monkey's loose, jumps over the couch, runs outside, the others follow him.
Yujo only weighs about 40 pounds, but his owners say he's extremely powerful.
The animal is extremely quick, extremely strong. My understanding is about the strength of 3 to 4 men, and that it very large teeth.
Phelan let us take these pictures inside, showing the extra locks they've already installed to keep the Pattis monkey from getting out again. Despite the wild day, Phelan defends her right to have a wild animal.
He is part of the family. And in fact, when people ask if I own a monkey, no, I don't own a monkey because he's my son. We have a monkey. But I'm not taking it lightly. I do understand the human life and protecting it and the risk.
So many options, so many places to eat. Maybe it's your all-time favorite, or you're trying it for the first time. A big chain restaurant, or a little mom and pop. But ask yourself this, is the kitchen clean?
If you don't have safe food, then you're not going to be open very long.
Jillian Hicks is a food education specialist for the Marion County Health Department. That's a fancy name for food inspector. Hicks demonstrated for us what she typically does during a restaurant inspection. One of the most common violations she finds are kitchen workers not washing their hands before handling food.
Hand sinks have to be at about 100 degrees, so they can't just be washing their hands with cold water.
Other common violations include food not being held at the proper temperature, soiled food prep utensils and tables, and maybe the most disgusting of all, rodent and pest infestation. And that's the case at this place, Los Rancheros on the northwest side in the 7100 block of Georgetown Road. We noticed that on a lot of your recent inspections that you've had a lot of critical violations, such as live roaches in the kitchen area. Is your restaurant dirty?
It's not dirty. The violations mostly is because the building has been running for about 15 years so far, so it's deteriorated.
The manager says his restaurant has cleaned up its act.
We have gotten nobody sick in very, very long time.
After inspecting this place in February, Faux 54 in the 7200 block of Michigan Road, the health department closed the kitchen after it found soiled water leaking from the roof onto a food prep area. It also found dead roaches.
Do you feel like you are a clean restaurant?
I believe we clean you look.
And during a routine inspection in February at P.F. Chang's at Keystone at the Crossing, the inspector found a dozen critical violations, including live roaches on cook line floors.
Would you still go in and eat dinner here, knowing that the health department did an inspection here not too long ago and found roaches in the food prep area?
Yeah, I would.
Marion County makes all inspection reports available online so you can see for yourself what inspectors find.
It's going to have the most current inspection report and also the history of inspections.
Violations are broken down into two categories, critical and non-critical. Critical designations indicate the violation could result in a foodborne illness.
If it's something that's very critical, we make sure that it's corrected on site before we leave and then do follow up on it.
While it's almost impossible to find a restaurant without any violations, Five Guys Burgers and Fries in Fishers has received back-to-back perfect inspections from Hamilton County.
Clean restaurant, it's an Abbey restaurant. I mean, if we have a clean restaurant, that is the first impression you're going to make before you even get to food.
Betts says his company's training and education for employees on cleanliness is key, along with a secret shopper program and extra unannounced inspections.
We also have an outside third-party company called StairTech that comes in, and they audit us, kind of like the health department does, also with Five Guys standards, once a quarter unannounced, so we don't know when they're coming.
On a cold and blustery Christmas Eve, Jack Ruckle is away from home, continuing a Christmas tradition near and dear to his heart.
It's the least I can do for the Lord for this, because He changed my life about 40 years ago.
Parked at the Tippecanoe County Courthouse, Ruckle's Dodge Ram is transformed into a mobile manger. He came up with the idea in 1999 when county commissioners banned scenes like this one from the courthouse lawn.
This is the true meaning, and if a car drives by and only sees it for 1 second, he's got to think, well, that's the real reason for the season.
This and every year, Ruckle greets people here beginning on December 15th, 6 to 9, every night.
Oh, you still got candy canes, ain't you? Merry Christmas.
The nativity scene may not be on the courthouse grounds like it used to be when he was growing up, but this approach seems to be working out just fine.
Now the people won't let me quit. I mean, I hear it all year long that, Jack, you're going to do it again, you're going to do it again, aren't you? So I just stay with it, enjoy the people.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you much.
Just people telling us how stupid we are.
You know, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you know? We want to do the honest thing. We want to do what we were done. You know, this is our job.
It started out as a routine day for these three highway workers picking up trash and road hazards along I-70. They came across a tire, something they'd picked up hundreds of times before.
We had already picked up 3 or 4 of those tires that had the rim on them.
There's usually nothing in them but mice or water.
But this time there was $100,000 cash, most hidden inside the rim, some on top, most bundled in bags and rubber bands. This crew member was the first to see it.
First thing I said was holy, and you can fill in the blank. And like I said, I just kind of stared at it.
And I noticed he was just standing there. I said, is it frozen to the ground or something?
The amount of cash they found was more than their 3 salaries combined. Still, the guys say they never considered keeping it themselves.
Never came to mind again. We're just doing our job.
They immediately called their boss and state police.
It's one of those things that you see on movies, you think, you know, that only happens on the movie, but when it happens in real life, it's shocking.
They say they have no regrets and will sleep soundly at night, guilt-free.
It'd been nice to have it, but I think we did the right thing.
A precious newborn baby girl placed in a shoebox. Left alone on a porch, wrapped only in a thin blanket.
The baby didn't have any clothes on. No diaper, no nothing.
It was a shocking discovery for Bernice Pelham and Sue Jackson.
We pulled in the driveway and I said, "What is that on the porch?"
When their weekly visit to check on Sue's elderly Aunt Phyllis, who lives in the home, turned into a heart-wrenching rescue.
Little feet and legs were sticking out and we could see them kicking.
At first, they thought the box had something to do with Aunt Phyllis's doll collection.
She collects a lot of dolls, and Sue says, "Oh, it's a doll. Somebody's supposed to come pick it up."
But when they reached the porch, they could clearly see and hear.
Kind of made a noise.
It was a living, breathing baby.
The only thing I could think of was get it in where it's warm. Poor little thing was freezing. Put the feet, our hands over the feet like that to try to warm up the feet because they were ice cold.
They covered the baby and called police. Outside, they found a note that had blown into the bushes.
I said, "I can't take care of my baby. Please help me."
And I feared she must have been awful desperate. I just wonder why she didn't take it to a hospital or a church or somewhere warm.
They believe it's no accident. They were in the right place at the right time.
I'm just thankful we came over here today.
We both kind of believe in angels, and maybe it's our day.
Hey, this man's bus is rolling and he's not in it.
This amazing video taken by Aaron Thigpen and then posted on Facebook.
Ain't no stopping. You can't stop it.
A little bit after 5 p.m., the bus traveling east on Gateway, watch as it goes right through the high school road intersection.
Damn!
What could have been a disaster ended with just a couple of bent street signs. Nobody on board the bus, including the driver.
The bus operator reached the end of the line and stopped the bus, exited the bus to take a break.
We're told that the driver parked the bus and then went into this plasma center to use the restroom.
And the bus started rolling.
Yes, it did.
This is about to be an accident waiting to happen.
He kept on rolling. It rolled through the line.
Tony Gilbert has a small seafood shop near the incident, and he takes the bus every day.
Then he just curved. Now, just think somebody would have been standing right there. Look.
And that guy's trying to...
Right, trying to get in there. The doors is locked.
Indigo says the driver is suspended with pay. They're investigating to see if the runaway bus was caused by a mechanical failure or operator error.
We take these matters very seriously. We're following up. We're doing all of our investigation on the equipment and the operator, and those two items will be dealt with as needed.
Indigo said the driver followed protocol and called their office as soon as he realized what happened.
That was crazy. I can laugh about it now, but if I'd have been on there,